All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
All right.
All right. All right. All right.
Josh, are you ready to have a conversation about Nazis and Japanese and America and stuff?
Always.
Always. All right. That's weird, but all right. Mm. It's over here.
Are you ready to talk about paranormality? Tan-
Yeah. Oh, what?
tangent universes?
Yes, I
The
am.
malleability of fate?
Maybe.
Let's clap it in.
Okay. Ow, ow. Sorry, go ahead. Oh, what's up, guys?
What's up, everybody? It's On Fire Tonight with Josh and Trev. So we are here today to talk about Man in the High Castle, Season 2, Episode 2, The Road Less Traveled. This is your one and only warning. We're going to spoil it by talking about it. So if you haven't seen it and don't like spoilers,
Come
here we
on,
go.
Trent. And now you're back. Welcome back. Hey, Josh,
Hey,
how's it
hey,
going? Lots
fucking
going
golden.
on. Lots going on here.
Big time. What'd you think of this episode?
It was great. Entertained all the way through. Good sign.
Right? Like so much
Mhm.
going on. Ugh,
Yeah.
fuck yeah.
Hold up. I do need more coffee. So, this first scene, are we just establishing that Keto doesn't care for this bullshit? Because I already knew that.
I think so. I mean, well, no, wait, there is more. There's more. There's more. There's more. There's more. He does
Oh,
not care for this bullshit,
uh,
but it is also a moment of unexpected philosophical depth.
I don't remember that. Where?
Okay.
Show me the philosophical death for 500. I
Philosophical
remember.
depth.
Oh,
Depth.
I thought you said death, and that was confusing. Go ahead.
Um, we start off in this hostess club with Keto and General Onada, and General Onada is boring the shit out of people and being super weird with his fucking war stories.
Yeah. He has to do
Um,
something if he can't show everyone his sword. He's got to do something.
yeah,
Fucking
he is
guy.
drunk and he just sucks.
He really
Anyway,
does.
Keto is sitting next to a hostess who's like, dude, if you don't talk to me, then I'm not doing my job. And if I'm not doing my job, they fire me and I need my job. And he's like, ugh. And then, right? Because like he doesn't want to put
Mhm.
up with any of this
No,
bullshit. Like
he
he's a
doesn't want to
man
be
who lives
there.
by a code.
Hmm.
It's not just that he doesn't want to be there, he lives by a code, and this is not part of his code. His code
Yeah.
is rigid.
His code is not to fuck with bitches. Come on.
We finally learn after a season and change, he's got a wife and two kids back home. He
I
comes
guess
from an agricultural area. This hostess was also raised by a farming family. She tries to connect with him. That's like, she's doing her job right.
she is. She's going above and beyond. Like,
Well, or she's doing it exactly right because like she's identifying the fact that like this dude doesn't want to talk, he's uncomfortable for whatever reason. She's even trying to like give him an out to like dump his drink so
yeah.
that like he doesn't seem rude, but it's like, you know, done in secret. He's not going to be told how to live or how to behave by her or anyone else.
He's like, I don't want to get rid of my drink. I love my drink. My drink's awesome.
Yeah, he like slurps it in her face like I'm on duty. And she's like, are you ever not on duty? And that's where we have the great philosophical depth.
Yeah,
Because then she talks about if you're never really present, then it's like nothing's ever real. If your mind is always elsewhere.
You never experience anything.
Right. But also, like this whole show is like, what if your mind goes somewhere else? Like Tagomi went somewhere else with his mind,
Literally.
And then we've got Tagomi trying to track down like the stuff that he saw in the alternate reality.
Oh, yeah.
Like he got Kodamichi, his like assistant guy, to like try to look up Lolita and the Cuban Missile Crisis and Nelson Mandela.
But what about that Lolita? Mostly I want to hear about Lolita. Can we get that on? What are you doing with that? I thought when he started reading off that list, I was like, oh, yeah. And I found all this great stuff for you to find out more about. But no, he's just like, I looked up that stuff you said that's weird and it doesn't exist.
Yeah, because none of that exists in their world, because none of it would, because history turned out very differently.
Right. Oh, I got that.
But then, so like, he's not completely satisfied with those answers. And he goes,
who would be?
Right. Well, I mean, it's a very strange mystery, right? Like sometimes unsolved mysteries. Sometimes
Robert Stack.
He goes to a library where like he's friends with the librarian and they know that he's like a very important guy. And he's like, hey, I need to see your suppressed materials. And the librarian's like,
let me talk to Tokyo real quick because
yeah, they tune in Tokyo.
He's like, meet mer. I'm sorry. Meet mer. Okay, go ahead. And then he's like, come on, what am I, a spy? What are you gonna do? What? Come on, let me look at the books.
So they have a literal prison cell in the basement of the library with like bars and everything.
Yeah.
And they've got all of these English language books under lock and key. One of them is The Varieties of Religious Experience by William James, which he asks the librarian about specifically. And
yo, you ever read any of this shit? Hey, how about we not talk about this, because I don't want to have to. It's touchy subject, bro. I don't want to. No, please, let's not.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm not following.
The librarian, he's just like, no, we're not going to talk about these books. I'm not doing this.
Right, those are suppressed texts. So even though he's in charge of the books, like I'm not even sure that he's allowed to read the books.
Right. Yeah.
So anyway, Tagomi is like, okay, listen, I'll do the talking for this part of the conversation. And he's talking about like the desire to escape the tyranny of consciousness and the prisons of thought in which we trap ourselves. And what if there was a better world on the other side of that door? That's heavy shit, dude.
Yeah.
Tito is trying his best to fucking disassociate inside that hostess club and go to another world. It's like, have you ever like, did you ever go to school having not done the assignment and you're like, oh my God, I just want to like teleport to another world, like get me out of here. Like it depends on like how much my brain can't think of words.
You know, before his assistant is like, hey, let me list off all this cool stuff you were talking about.
Lolita, Nelson Mandela, Cuban Missile Crisis.
Super cool stuff. He's like, okay, here's some photos of how we're going to transport the uranium.
Right.
In public buses. And because we can't let anyone know that it exists and we're doing this.
Yeah.
And Tagomi's like, that's some bullshit. And his assistant's like, no. No Japanese people are going to be on these buses. These are non-Japanese buses. It's fine.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Bro, that's still some bullshit. I do not approve. Tagomi, you're a good man.
Yeah. Tagomi is a good man.
Mm.
Right? So like we have okay. So
Uh-huh.
there are these driving themes throughout the show. Joe, like in the last episode, and then again in this episode, is talking about how he's not the man he thought he would be, or like the man that he wanted to be. And now he goes back to his old construction job humbly and
Mm-hmm.
asks, like, listen, I didn't think that you would like hold my job for me, but like I just want to do an honest day's work. Like that's who he's trying to be. And then he's reading Huckleberry Finn to Buddy. And I'm not sure if that's his son or if
I don't
Rita
know.
is a single mom and he's just
Yeah,
like attached to the kid.
sure.
But like Huckleberry Finn is clearly like not Reich approved literature at all. And the kid doesn't even understand, but wait, like the guy was a slave. So like, what are we talking about? And then Joe is like trying to explain like what it means to try to be good and like having humanity.
And Rita's
And
like, hold up. Can we not read this bullshit in my house? Because I don't want my son to learn this horrible thing of, of values. Can we not, Joe? Joe. Sorry, go ahead.
well, no, I'm just talking about what? So yeah. So
Yeah,
Rita,
because Rita was like, no, this is not cool. Stop reading this book to my son. I don't like it.
yeah, Rita's character, it's not clear to me what she believes or doesn't believe. Actually, that character doesn't mean a whole lot to me at all. Like I don't feel like they've really given her like much.
No, they haven't.
Um, but so okay, so Juliana, like towards the end of this episode, is writing a letter to Frank, like professing her love for him and telling him like get out of town. Like she's trying to like warn him, her mom, and Arnold and Tagomi, everybody, get out of San Francisco. There's going to be like nuclear devastation.
She finds out who that man is that looks familiar, but she doesn't know who he is because no
Yeah,
shame, but
that
mom got
familiar
around.
man, yeah, that familiar looking man
Mm-hmm.
was Trudy's real father. Arnold doesn't
Spit
know.
take.
Yeah. So a guy named George Dixon, last known whereabouts is in Brooklyn, New York.
Hmm.
Anyway, yeah, Juliana's mom at the end of the war hooked up with George Dixon and got pregnant and didn't know it until she was already with Arnold. Arnold doesn't know. Arnold has raised Trudy as his own.
Well, at least Trudy doesn't know either, right?
No, Trudy somehow found out.
I
But
know.
how did she find out?
Who fucking knows, dude? The resistance? I don't know.
But so in that letter that Juliana is writing to Frank, she talks about whether or not fate is inevitable or if it is in our control. And she wants it to be something that she can have a hand in, and she's going to try. She's a great
I mean, that's
character.
been her mission the entire show.
Yes, but like she
She,
explicitly states it here.
right. Like she understands that that's her explicit mission now, and she's going to do that. Man, what's the coat guy? Harry? Is that his name? With Lem?
Gary.
Gary. Same
Yeah.
thing.
Gary, by the way, Gary, who's sort of like a beatnik, except that like there would be no beatniks, I think, in this version of reality.
Yeah, it's their version of a beatnik. He
He has
sucks.
such get away from me vibes.
Oh my God, so creepy.
Like
Yeah,
if he said nothing to you, if you just saw him waiting for a bus, you'd be like,
yeah,
gross, get the fuck away from me.
100%. And
I don't understand how that guy is able to do anything or work with anyone.
that actor or that character?
That character, I mean, who knows what the actor's like? The actor might be anyone or anything, but like that character has such get the fuck away from me vibes.
Yeah, for sure. He is determined to murder Juliana. Like,
yeah, he's dragging poor Lemuel Washington all over town.
Lem's like, dude, can we just go get a sandwich or something? Let's not do this.
He's
No,
like, the heat is on. It's
it's on the
on the
street.
street.
um,
Uh,
wait, did you? I mean, you talked about how Ed Keto was like, "Hey Ed, you're fucked." Did you even explain how fucked he told Ed he was? Because he was like, "Hey, you know how we're gonna kill you? We're also gonna kill your grandfather, your friends, everyone you work with, anyone you ever said hello to, that dog down the street. We're killing everybody because you're a traitor."
yeah, everyone that worked at that factory, and then we're going to burn the factory to the ground.
That seems a bit much, Keto.
And then, yeah, so that's wonderful because Keto gets him to break down in tears. And it's like, why? I would have, like, I'm trying to die to protect my loved ones. And I would have just like not confessed to anything if you were just going to kill me and them too. And then Keto's like, all right, so Psycho-Rooney, I'm not going to kill those people or you.
What? Ah, you're the best.
Yeah, so Okamura, the Yakuza boss, pulls in his favor from Keto.
What a fucking favor.
Right. So this is amazing, right? Because Okamura just like the other day was like, Keto, I'm giving you the real shooter and you're going to do with that what you're going to do with that. But you owe me big. And it's not money, but you owe me fucking big.
Oh, fuck. You weren't kidding, bro.
Yeah.
Uh,
So why this sudden about face from Okamura saying like, okay, so I need that guy that you arrested? It's because Frank and Chilton, well, it wasn't really Chilton's plan.
No, he has no idea.
Frank has a fucking crazy half-cocked idea.
It was 100% not cocked is what that idea was. What the fuck? How did that even fucking work out in his favor? I still am like, no, he should be dead. He should have been dead before I could even get to the Yakuza. What?
All right. So in the last episode, Frank and Chilton go to Paul and Betty's house, and Frank says, hey, dude, this Sitting Bull necklace, I made it, you dumb fuck. You bought a piece of forgery that I made. You paid 80,000 yen for some piece of crap that I manufactured, you dumb dummy. But instead of that earning them both their immediate beat the shit out of and death,
they were like, oh, okay, that's fine. Let's go talk to the Yakuza then. I'm sure they would like to have a very nice civil conversation with you.
I find it hard to believe that Paul would want his boss at the Yakuza to know that he was taken advantage of like that. But yes, this could be a big money earner for the Yakuza, which is Frank's plan. He's like, I will present myself as this amazing counterfeiter that can make anything. The Yakuza will threaten our lives, let us live, but I need my assistant in order to make all this stuff. And they're the only people powerful enough to get Ed out of prison.
You know,
to get Ed out of death row for attempting to assassinate the Crown Prince of Japan.
I mean, what are the fucking... He should be dead. Children's dead. Ed dead. They should all be buried in a shallow grave right now. There is no way that plan would have worked. I'm glad it did. Good for you guys.
All right, so this is okay. Keto then just shifts the blame to the dead resistance fighter, Karen Vecchione.
Everybody wins.
So if he was always able to just shift it to anyone for any reason, basically.
Yes.
Because like, couldn't it have been some other resistance person that they knew about? Because apparently she was a known resistance person. when they like
Yeah.
have her dead body, and she just worked at a florist. So if she was known to be a resistance fighter and just living a normal life, why did they let her like walk around and live?
Just go there. There's where the resistance is. Let's go to the resistance hideout because we know where that is and arrest everyone and say they all did it. And then one by one, we'll just off them. It's fine.
So
Easy
that's a little
peasy.
bit confusing. It seems like
Mm-hmm.
they could have just like gotten any patsy that they wanted.
Mm-hmm. Can you hear the music in the background?
No, I heard a dog bark just then.
That's not in my place.
Oh, well, I heard it in my headphones. Maybe it was music, but it sounded like a dog bark. Anyway, I
Anyway,
don't hear it.
okay.
All right, so Obergruppenführer John Smith
Mhm.
drops by Joe's house and he has some very interesting information for him.
Yeah, he lies to him and says some other guy that's not Hitler is his dad and he wants to see him. Joe's like, why do I want to see that guy? He's not even my real dad. My real dad's Adolf Hitler. I'm pretty sure is what he said.
Obergruppenführer John Smith shows up at Joe Blake's house. Joe Blake and Rita watching an episode of American Reich, which is just their version of Dragnet.
Dragnet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he looks so out of place there because he's like in his full Nazi regalia and they have a very humble home.
Yeah, they got a shitty apartment and somewhere.
I mean, whatever. It looks like a nice place, but it's like meant to be humble. Like, especially like when you see like his great Long Island estate. It's not even an estate,
Correct.
but like whatever. So he's like, Reichsminister Heusmann wants to see you in Berlin, and he is your father.
Yeah. Everybody knows my dad's Adolf Hitler. Stop with the shenanigans. So, do we know who this guy is? Has he been mentioned or shown before?
Never.
Okay.
We have never heard that name before. I don't think. If we heard it, it was like in the background.
Right. It wasn't an important conversation.
But he's obviously, I mean, a Reichsminister outranks an Obergruppenführer.
If you say so.
Yeah, I think.
I mean, nobody outranks Adolf Hitler, his real dad, but okay.
I mean, I think that a Reichsminister is like a super high placed person.
I'm not
I don't,
saying you're wrong. I have
I don't
no
know.
idea.
I don't know. It's got the word Reich in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the other one has Führer in it.
That's
so.
true. Ooh.
Oh, by the way, some lady got killed last night. So see you later.
He's like, by the way, Joe, some female resistance fighter got killed in the Pacific States. We haven't confirmed her identity yet, but oh well.
Catch you on the flip flop. And he leaves. Oh, okay. So Joe's going to go. Joe's going to go, even though he's trying to get out. They just pull him right back.
Yeah, Rita's like, whenever you're with me, you're not even really with me. Just like keto disassociating, just like Tagomi literally fucking disassociating.
Literally associating, dislocating neatly.
It's pretty cool, right?
So cool.
Some heavy duty stuff.
Man. I'm just trying to see if there's anything at the beginning that needs to be mentioned.
I feel like there is probably.
I mean, I feel like a lot of the beginning was just like,
oh, you know what?
Yeah.
Keto gets like he must have Keto must have rubbed a magic lantern at some point before he entered that hostess club, because he actually gets to leave on real business.
Right. His assistant's like, yo, you got a important phone call. Wink. Oh no, but it's real. You actually have an important phone call. You gotta go.
Yeah, so he goes to the site where Karen's dead body is lying in the street, along with like a Kempeitai officer, and there was like a resistance shootout there. It's night. He spots a fucking bullet hole in a post that he pulls out with some pliers that he has on him. That guy's prepared.
Yeah. He's like a Boy Scout.
He's really fucking, yeah, he's on it. So later on, when they're like trying to figure out like,
But also,
mm-hmm.
he does mention he knows that bullet is not Japanese. I don't know if that's important because we all knew that already, but I felt like it should be mentioned. So he's like, yeah, they were not just shooting at the soldiers. They were shooting at someone over here too. So we're looking for someone else that made it, like got away. They're looking for Juliana. Go ahead.
Yeah, which he also sort of pieces together based on the physical description. He's like, wait a minute, read that description back.
Tall, skinny, dark hair. That's Juliana.
Yeah, tell Tagomi to get in touch with me.
Okay, tall, skinny, dark hair. That's, I don't know, 80% of women
Well,
there anyway.
I don't know.
In
Also, like, I don't understand how they were able to figure out all of that forensic stuff at night at first blush. And like the idea
you mean
that
the
like,
bullet?
well, all of it, like the idea that like, okay, so like they fired guns this way and that way, and this must mean that they were shooting at another person that got away. Couldn't it have just been one of the people that got hit, but like they dodged bullets before they got hit?
Absolutely. I don't
And
know.
there are a lot of reasons why there might be bullet holes in a thing over here, over there. Someone shot wildly.
Yes. And when you get shot at and hit, that can happen.
Oh, also, speaking of shooting wildly,
Oh no.
Gary is a terrible shot. Not only is Gary like get away from me vibes, he's also a terrible shot.
Yeah.
Juliana leads them through tunnels under her like mom's apartment building,
Going
out
straight.
the back door.
She's not like weaving. She's not zigzagging. She's running straight down this tunnel. And Gary's like
Gary's a terrible
stormtrooper
shot.
aim. Like
Yeah.
what? You just got to shoot straight ahead. That's all you got to do, bro. Just straight ahead.
She smashes all the light bulbs on her way out to like help give herself cover. It's just straight. It's just straight. Even Lemel Washington is firing shots and he's not hitting her. Maybe he's trying not to hit her.
Yeah, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because he doesn't seem to want to murder her.
Oh, also back in Long Island, we get to see a daytime housewife cocktail party.
Fuck yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I love a daytime cocktail party with the ladies.
Helen's pouring drinks. They're all well in their cups.
John Smith comes down. He's like, hey, ladies. And one of them's like, hey, how's the Fuhrer? How you doing? How's he doing? Things are good. Bitch, you don't ask me that.
He's like loose lips sink ships and doesn't let anything go. He's like, well, it's great to see you.
See ya.
I am happy to assure you that the Reich and the Fuhrer are both in vigorous good health.
Cheers, ladies.
And then, yeah, so Helen excuses herself and she's like, hey, so you seem like a man that was just welcomed home as like a fucking national hero. He's like, oh, fuck hell. Hitler's in bad health, mentally and physically. I have total allegiance to him and he gave me a job to do. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do my job.
Yeah. And this job, guess what? It fucking sucks.
Yeah. I got to find some fucking man in some high castle.
What the fuck does that even mean? What
does that
mean?
Yeah.
Poor Nazi Joe.
Oh, also one of the women at the cocktail party was the doctor's wife, and he
Oh,
prescribes her so one of the women at the cocktail party was Dr. Adler's wife, and she's drunkenly joking about how he will give her prescriptions for stuff, and the rest of them are like, that sounds good.
what was that she said? Do you know?
I forget what it was. I'm sure it was like some Nazi drug.
Oh yeah, because I had no idea what she was talking about. I don't know what that drug was. But
I
I
don't know
also
either.
I had no idea that was the doctor's wife. So
She said something about it. She just mentioned it like really quickly and said that he gives me a prescription. And that because like they were talking about the gifts that they get from their husbands and like whether
mhm.
or not they're actually romantic.
And it's usually the D.
Hey,
Ladies, settle down.
yeah, we know what the ladies want.
Drugs.
Oh, is that the D you meant?
Yeah. Yep. 100%.
Oh, I was confused.
It's okay.
Yeah, so shit's kind of cray. This episode ends with Juliana maybe about to get shot as she goes straight to the Nazi embassy and begs for asylum.
She mails that letter to Frank, puts it in the mailbox, the post, walks by dozens of Kempetai, la la la, like she's like whistling.
Yeah, they all spot her and they're like, oh my God, that's her. Get
That's
her.
her. She's tall and skinny and it has dark hair. That's definitely her. I've never seen anyone like that before. So they all kind of like, wait a minute. And she starts to walk just a little bit faster and just walking, but just a little bit faster until she stumbles and her knee hits the border of the Nazi embassy. I need asylum. Well done. That's it. That's it. Credits. What? What do you want from me, Josh? Nothing. Anyway, I know. I was just kidding. Oh, but also, before she does that, she goes to Tagomi's and stop it. She's like, bro, I'm so sorry. I have been missing work. I need a visa. Can you maybe help me out? And also, you should probably leave because this whole city is going to be flattened by a bomb soon. But I gotta go because you just told me no, fuck off. I'm not going to give you a visa. So, bye.
He
Go ahead,
can't
John.
do what he can't do.
I mean, he could.
Oh,
He's done it
interesting.
before
So
for a
like
literal Nazi.
a diplomatic visa under a different name. Well, but the whole Kempetai is looking for her. This is a different matter.
That's true. But she doesn't get it. She's like, well, fuck you.
She's not like, fuck you at all. She's, why do you say the opposite of what's real?
She was hurt by it. She was not expecting him to say no. Well, she might have been expecting it, but she was really hoping he would say yes.
Is that true?
I think so. The look on her face was just like, okay, fine, dickhead. I'm out. But also take care of yourself and leave.
Yeah. She gives him the gravest of warnings.
But also, sir, everything is going to be dead soon. Sir, remember that time where you conspired with that Nazi to give that one guy the microfilm and it backfired? That's going to happen. So you should leave. And that's the show.
It's deep, right? Like you've got Juliana doing everything she can to try to stop a disaster from happening. You've got Joe Blake. Here's a guy who's wrestling with what does it mean to be a good person? And
Yeah.
who, like, what's expected of me? Like
His entire
he's trapped
existence,
between worlds. He doesn't know who he is or should be.
he's
He
got
has
his,
ideas of who he should be, and he's disappointed when he looks at himself in the mirror.
he is the embodiment of the "Are We the Baddies" sketch. His dad is Adolf Hitler,
His dad is
and
not
his
Adolf
mom,
Hitler. We learn clearly in this episode that
and
his
his
father
mom.
is Reichsminister Haussmann.
I'm not buying it. Uh,
Yeah, no word on his mom though. Like, he grew up with his mom, but where is she? Did she die?
Nazis killed her
Why would Nazis kill her?
because she wasn't Nazi enough. Because Adolf Hitler was like, I want.
You're just confusing things when you say that now.
That's the point, Josh.
Uh,
Yeah, there's something I wanted to say or a question I had, but I can't remember what it is.
you got Frank and Ed who are both struggling in different ways. Like, everyone is struggling. Tagomi, like, what does it mean to do what's right? You know, he worked in this conspiracy with Wagner trying to bring about greater peace, and it fucked him.
It fucked him hard. It fucked everyone. And he is like not happy about this outcome at all.
Tito has to cover up that Nazi assassin dude's real life assassination attempt in order to preserve peace and to serve the empire. It's the greater good.
I mean, he's kind of like the last word on it. So who's going to question him, right?
Ed is obviously like the greatest, like, Ed is the best friend in the world who would literally lay down his life to protect his friends. Frank, I feel like his character has the greatest struggles because he keeps coming up short over and over again, but he's trying, right? Like, even he wasn't always trying to necessarily do what was the highest thing that was right. You
Right.
know, like, early on, he was trying to get Juliana not to be involved. And then the more involved she and he both got, the more important doing what's right has become to him. Even though
Yeah.
he keeps getting, like, everything in his life keeps getting fucked.
I don't I don't know if I even see that because it feels like everything he's done is just to survive, which fair. But at the same time, the only time he's like trying to do what is right, quote unquote, is because someone talks him into it. Except for Ed. He wants to save Ed because he knows that he fucked up. Or
He
Ed
was ready
did.
to let Joe Blake die, but Juliana's like, no, this man saved my life. We have
Right.
to do anything that we can. And Frank is like, God damn it, you're right.
Right. That's what I'm
And
saying. He has to be
but
talked into it.
yes, but he's persuaded. I'm saying that, like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, he doesn't have a hard and fast rule like, no, fuck that guy. Not only is he persuaded, he puts himself in harm's way.
Right.
So, like,
I am with you. I just I don't know. It feels like it's more aside from the fact that he can be persuaded, he's more about survival than anything else. Which that's fine.
I
Survive.
I mean, he's been put in terrible positions.
Yeah. I don't blame him
The Kempetai killed his sister and her kids
for
while he
fucking no
was held in
reason.
prison down the hall.
Whoops. Question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what's the end game here for Juliana? She knows who that guy is that she didn't know who he was, and now she does.
Somehow identifying that dude, he's some key to the puzzle that may or may not stop San
Right.
Francisco from getting nuked.
The man in the high castle needed that information. Is there no way to get that information to fucking goddamn Gary or Lem or something without them murdering her first? But
I mean, I wouldn't take that information to those people.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know I don't understand what the end game is. I like getting asylum from the Nazis doesn't seem like, and that's the whole point, Tressa, you fucking idiot. Of course she's going to do a switcheroo. But how?
The last thing that her mom knew about George Dixon was that he was in Brooklyn, New York. That's in the Greater Reich. So
she's going to take it all into her own goddamn hands and be like, hey, Georgie, guy, whatever your name was, I've got information. You're the only one who can save us. Please do that now. Bye.
I don't know.
Julie,
I have no idea.
I know you don't, but come on. She needs help and she's just trying to do it all on her own. I think that's a bad idea. I don't know who she could go to, but I don't know. I'm just saying.
Tressa, why do you hate women so much? Oh, this little girl can't do it on her own. She should ask for help.
She has no connections except for Nazis. And she didn't even know they were Nazis because it's just the one guy.
Okay, so she's got that connection. She's also tight with Tagomi. She's got all sorts of connections.
Tagomi won't do shit for her. Joe Blake thinks she's dead.
They are homies.
Yeah, that's right.
Wait, did you say Joe Blake is dead?
No, I said Joe Blake thinks she's dead. Not that matters.
Joe Blake does think she's dead.
He's not looking out for her, or he's not looking for her anyway. Oh, there's Oz.
Well, she doesn't know that he thinks that she's dead.
Right. I think we're getting a delivery.
Uh-oh. A special delivery?
No, a regular one.
Oh, okay.
Oz is barking, that's why. So go ahead and tell us a joke or something while the dog barks.
I mean, I think that's everything.
All right, why don't you tell everyone goodbye then?
Why don't you tell everyone a big high energy goodbye?
Because my dog is barking.
Okay. Guys, that's all the time we have for this episode. Thanks so much for joining us. This is On Fire Tonight with Josh and Tressa. We're out of here.